All right, everybody, get ready, because today we are diving deep into viral trends.
Yeah, into the heart of viral trends.
Why do something, why do they explode online?
Yeah, from those silly dances to those serious hashtags. They
Exactly.
just seem to explode.
You might be surprised how predictable it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to uncover that secret formula, so to speak. And to do that, we're going to be using this essay. It's called The Psychology of Viral Trends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
You don't really need like a psychology degree to get this stuff,
You don't? No.
but it's like crazy useful once you start to understand it.
It is.
Because, imagine if you could kind of like, see those online waves coming,
Right.
like maybe even ride them yourself.
Exactly. That's the exciting part, right?
Yeah.
Once you understand the psychology behind trends, you can not only navigate the online world better, but potentially even predict what's going to catch fire next.
That's the dream.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into this essay.
Let's do it.
First things first, the essay dives right into this idea that we're all wired to connect.
We are.
And it uses this term, social validation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think basically it's that feeling that you get when you're in on something.
Totally.
Like, remember when everyone was doing the Harlem Shake?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That need to belong is deeply rooted in us.
Yeah.
It is. And think back to our ancestors. Being part of a group meant survival, like sharing food, protection, all that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. Today, belonging takes on new forms, but that core drive is still there. I mean, online trends tap into that ancient need in a supercharged way.
It's true.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of where FOMO comes in, right?
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
if everyone's sharing this one thing, you don't want to be the only one who's missed it.
No.
Especially online where everything moves so fast.
That's right. That fear of missing out is especially powerful for younger generations who are constantly bombarded with these trends.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, they're literally growing up in a world where being in the know is a form of social currency.
It's crazy.
It is.
So, okay, we're drawn to trends because we want to belong,
Right.
but it's not JST about fitting in, right? It's
Yeah.
like our brains actually play a role too.
Oh, yes, yeah.
The essay uses this term, cognitive simplicity,
Yeah.
and basically we gravitate towards things that are easy to understand,
Yes.
easy to remember. It
Mhm.
makes sense. I mean, think about it.
Yeah. Single ideas, catchy tunes, they just stick in our heads.
They do.
There's a reason why, like, advertising jingles are so effective.
Oh, yeah.
And this easy processing, it actually leads to a more positive feeling, making us more likely to enjoy and share that content.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called cognitive fluency,
Mm.
which is just a fancy way of saying our brains like smooth roads, not bumpy ones.
So a simple dance or a catchy hashtag, that's like the cognitive equivalent of a smooth road.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, but this essay goes even deeper, talking about how emotionally charged content, so stuff that makes us feel something, good or bad, is way more likely to get shared than just, neutral stuff.
That's right. Think about a time that you saw a video that made you laugh out loud, or maybe one that sparked some serious debate like, what did you do next?
Yeah.
Chances are you shared it with someone.
You probably did.
Yeah, why? Because emotion drives action.
Emotion drives action.
Yeah.
And the essay breaks this down into like two main types.
Yeah.
Positive and negative emotions.
Mm.
Like funny cat videos, inspiring stories.
Oh, yeah.
Those tap into those like good vibes, making us want to spread the joy.
Totally. Sharing those positive emotions is almost like giving a little gift to someone.
It's true.
You anticipate that it'll make them feel good, and in turn, that makes you feel good. It's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then there's the flip side.
Yeah.
Outrage or controversy.
Yes.
The essay says that even negative emotions like anger can make things go viral. Like if you see a news story that just makes you mad,
Oh, yeah.
you might share it to spark a conversation.
Right.
Or even just to vent.
Exactly. And here's the really interesting part.
Okay.
It's not just that we feel those emotions.
Uh-huh.
We actually catch them from others. It's called emotional contagion. Think about being in a crowded room where everyone's laughing. You can't help but smile, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Same thing happens online. That shared outrage or excitement, it becomes like social glue bonding us together, even if it's just for a fleeting moment.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the need to belong.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the power of simple ideas.
Yeah.
We've got this whole emotional roller coaster.
Right?
It's like a recipe for viral trends.
It is.
But the essay also talks about how trends can become little identity badges.
Yes.
What's that all about?
It's about self-expression,
Right.
Think about the clothes you wear, the music you listen to. These are all ways that you communicate something about yourself.
Yeah.
And trends, especially online, function in a similar way.
Oh,
Participating in a trend can be a way of signaling your values, your beliefs, your interest, finding your tribe.
the essay used like some really powerful examples, like hashtags, like hashtag Black Lives Matter or hashtag Fridays for Future.
Yes.
Those went way beyond just supporting a cause.
Right,
It
yeah.
was like it became ways for people to express their identity
Yeah.
and find others who shared their views.
And there's a psychological theory for this.
So there is.
Yeah, it's called social identity theory, and it basically says that we like to categorize ourselves and others into groups.
Okay.
And trends help us do this visually and quickly.
Uh,
Think about sports fans wearing their team's jersey.
oh, yeah.
It's an instant visual cue that says, I'm part of this group,
Totally.
right? Trends operate similarly online, allowing us to quickly signal our affiliations and find like-minded people.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, so we've got the social need, the brain's love of simplicity, the emotional roller coaster, and now this identity piece.
Right.
But there's one big factor we haven't talked about yet,
What's that?
the algorithm.
Yeah.
The essay calls it the network effect.
Right, so put simply, the more popular something is, the more popular it's likely to become.
Really?
Yeah, and social media platforms, they're built to accelerate this. It's like a popularity contest on hyperdrive.
So basically, the algorithm sees what's getting a lot of attention and then pushes it out to even more people.
That's right.
So it's almost like it's rigged to make things go viral.
Well, it's not rigged, exactly.
Okay.
But platforms are definitely designed to keep us scrolling,
Oh.
right? The more time we spend engaged,
Uh-huh.
the more data they collect.
Yeah.
The more targeted ads they can show us, and viral trends. They're like gold for keeping people hooked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The essay talks about how TikTok's For You page is like a master at this. You know, that page that just seems to know exactly what you want to watch.
Right, that algorithm is constantly analyzing what people are watching, liking, sharing, and then using that data to serve up more of the same or things very similar.
Wow.
It's designed to keep us in that endless scroll.
So it's not just our brains being drawn to this stuff. The platforms are actually designed to push it in front of us.
Exactly, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
If those platforms showed us content no one was interested in, we'd probably get bored pretty quickly.
True.
But this whole system definitely plays a role in how things blow up online.
Okay.
But let's not forget about FOMO. Remember how we talked about that earlier?
Yeah, that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
But you're saying it comes back in a different way when it comes to the trends themselves.
Exactly. So it's not just about missing out on being part of the group.
Uh-huh.
It's about missing out on the trend itself.
Oh, okay.
Online, things move so fast.
Yeah.
And trends, by their very nature, are fleeting.
Yeah.
That creates this sense of urgency. You got to get in on it while it's hot or you'll miss the boat.
So it's like that limited edition sneaker drop or that
Yes.
concert that sells out in minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you feel that pressure to be part of the in crowd. But there's also this like separate fear of missing out on that specific moment.
Yes.
That unique experience.
Precisely. And to add another layer to this, novelty itself, so new things, fresh experiences, they're incredibly stimulating to our brains.
They are?
They are.
Okay.
It actually triggers the release of dopamine,
Well,
which is associated with pleasure and reward.
interesting.
So not only are we trying to avoid missing out,
Uh-huh.
but we're also actively seeking out that rush that comes with experiencing something new and exciting.
So it's not just mindless scrolling.
Right.
It's like our brain's getting a little hit of happiness from each new trend we discover.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. I think we need like a minute to process all of this.
Take all the time you need.
This deep dive is already blowing my mind.
This is a lot to unpack, and we've only just scratched the surface. It's fascinating, isn't it? How our brains just crave that novelty.
Yeah, but new doesn't always mean completely original, right?
Right, exactly.
I feel like a lot of these trends are kind of like remixes.
Yeah,
They're taking something familiar and just giving it like a fresh spin.
that's a great point. Think about those like viral dance challenges.
Oh, yeah.
They're often using like popular songs, but adding new moves
Yeah,
or a unique twist.
it's true.
It's that perfect blend of the familiar and the novel playing right into our psychology.
Okay, so we've been talking about all the reasons WHY things catch on,
Yeah.
but I'm starting to wonder, like, what about the downsides?
Uh-huh.
Does the essay talk about that at all?
That's a great question. Honestly, the essay focuses mostly on how trends work.
Yeah.
Not so much the potential negatives,
Okay.
but there are definitely some things to consider.
Like what?
Well, for one, this constant need for novelty,
Yeah.
it can really mess with our attention spans.
Oh, for sure.
Like we're training ourselves to get bored more easily,
It's true.
always looking for that next dopamine hit.
The next shiny thing.
Exactly. And it makes it harder to focus on things that might be important,
Yeah.
but aren't necessarily exciting or trendy, like reading a long article
Yeah.
or really digging deep into a complex topic.
It's true. It's like,
Right.
and not to mention, there's just so much content out there now.
There is.
It's overwhelmed.
It's information overload.
It feels impossible to keep up.
It does.
And it's like hard to filter out all the noise,
Yeah.
figure out what's actually worth our attention.
And that information overload is a real challenge.
It is.
And this is where those algorithms we talked about earlier
Uh-huh.
can actually work against us.
What do you mean?
Well, if they're constantly feeding us content that aligns with our existing beliefs and interests,
Okay.
we might miss out on different perspectives,
Yeah.
different viewpoints.
It's like getting stuck in an echo chamber.
Exactly.
You only see what you already agree with. Right. And it can make it really hard to have those healthy debates
It can.
and really challenge your own thinking.
It's like those personalized recommendations gone wrong,
Oh, yeah.
right? They're meant to make our lives easier,
Yeah.
but sometimes they can actually limit our exposure to new ideas and different ways of thinking.
So it's not all fun and games, huh?
No, not in this sense.
Viral trends can be entertaining.
They can.
They can even spark some important conversations.
For sure.
But there's definitely a flip side.
Absolutely. It all comes down to being a conscious consumer,
Yeah.
an active participant,
Yeah, asking questions.
asking questions, seeking out diverse viewpoints, thinking critically about the information that we're consuming.
Yeah, and remembering that just because something's trending
Right.
doesn't mean it's true or valuable.
Exactly.
It's like we need to develop our own trend filter.
Totally. Now, the essay mentions trendsetters.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the folks who kick off these viral waves
Uh-huh.
doesn't go into much detail. But it made me think,
Yeah.
who are these people?
I know, right? Like, do they have some secret formula?
Yeah.
Do they just wake up one morning and decide, today, the world will learn this new dance?
Right. I wish it were that simple.
Right.
But seriously, some trends feel organic, like they just emerge naturally.
yeah.
But others, you can almost sense the strategy behind them.
Yeah, okay, spill the tea.
Right.
Like, which ones feel strategic? Because those perfectly choreographed dance routines that go viral overnight,
Yeah.
those aren't just happy accidents.
You're not wrong to be suspicious, and this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Are these trendsetters consciously using the psychology that we've been talking about?
Yeah.
Are they crafting content specifically designed to trigger those deep-seated needs and desires?
It's like they've cracked the code
Right.
of our collective brain and turned it into like a viral marketing machine.
Yeah.
But then there are those trends that seem to come out of nowhere.
Totally.
Like, remember that Chewbacca mom video? Yeah.
Pure, genuine joy that just captivated everyone.
That's the beauty of the internet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, the most unexpected, unscripted moments
Yeah.
are the ones that truly resonate.
Yeah, it's true.
It reminds us that not everything can be controlled or predicted.
Right.
There's still a place for spontaneity
Yeah.
and that authentic human connection.
Yeah. And that's kind of comforting in a way.
It is.
Even in this crazy, algorithm-driven world,
Yeah.
there's still room for those genuine moments to break through.
Totally. And it ties into a really important point that the essay makes.
Okay.
Viral trends, at their core, are about communication and connection.
Yeah.
Yes, there's the psychology, marketing, algorithms,
Right.
but ultimately, it's people sharing something with each other,
Yeah, it's true.
trying to find common ground, to express themselves, to be a part of something bigger.
That's something we all crave, right?
We do.
That connection, that sense of belonging,
Hmm.
trends, even with all their quirks and potential downsides. They
Yeah,
provide this unique and powerful avenue for that.
absolutely. So as we move towards wrapping up this deep dive,
Okay.
I'm curious,
Yeah.
what's standing out to you from all this?
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway?
I think what I'm really taking away from all this is
Yeah.
the idea that by understanding the psychology behind these trends,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually be more empowered online.
Totally.
It's not about rejecting trends altogether.
Right.
It's more about choosing how we engage with them.
Exactly. Instead of getting swept away by the tide, we can step back and analyze it.
Yeah.
Do we want to ride this wave?
Yeah.
Does it align with our values, or do we let it pass us by?
Yeah, it's like taking control of our own online experience,
Yeah,
instead of just letting the algorithms tell us what to see and
absolutely.
how to feel.
That's the key. And it brings up another layer that the essay didn't really touch on,
Okay.
the ethics of all this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if we know how these psychological levers work,
How do we make sure that knowledge is used responsibly?
that's a really good point.
Right.
It's like any powerful tool. It
Yeah.
can be used for good or for bad.
Okay.
On the one hand, understanding these principles can help us create content that's engaging, meaningful, maybe even helps make the world a little bit better.
Right. Think about those viral campaigns that raise awareness about important causes
Yeah,
or mobilize people for positive change. I mean, that's using this knowledge for good.
exactly. But then there's like the flip side.
Right.
Yeah,
Using those same techniques to manipulate people,
right.
spread misinformation,
Yeah.
or just exploit our vulnerabilities for profit.
It's scary.
It's a delicate balance,
Yeah.
for sure. And it underscores the importance of critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
media literacy,
Yeah.
ethical awareness
For sure.
for both the people creating content and those consuming it.
So it's not just about understanding the psychology of viral trends. It's about using that understanding to navigate the online world in a way that's both beneficial and responsible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And ultimately,
Yeah.
I think that brings us back to the essay's main point.
Okay.
The psychology of viral trends is about understanding ourselves,
Yeah.
our motivations,
Uh-huh.
our desires, how we connect with each other.
It's like holding up a mirror to our collective psyche,
Yeah.
You see our hopes, our fears, our need to belong.
Hmm.
And I think, like, in that reflection,
Yeah.
there are some valuable insights to be gained.
Beautifully put. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay, hit me.
The essay focused on the why
Mm-hmm.
and the how of trends,
Okay.
but it didn't really address the who,
The who? What do you mean?
the people behind the trends.
Oh, okay.
Are they masterminds,
Right.
savvy marketers,
Yeah.
or just everyday people who struck a chord with the world?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
It really makes you think. The next time you see like a viral video or a hashtag, don't just scroll past.
Yeah.
Take a second to wonder like about the person who created it.
Yes.
Like what was their motivation?
Yeah.
What were they trying to say?
Mm.
How does it make you feel?
It's a fantastic way to engage with this topic on a deeper level.
It is.
And hey, who knows, maybe by understanding the psychology behind viral trends,
Yeah.
you'll be inspired to create the next big sensation yourself.
I love that.
Right.
That's what I love about these deep dives. You never know where they're going to lead.
You don't.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Until next time, stay curious.